Hello, my name is Brianna Sinclair, and this is my 56th week on HRT. If you like my content, please like, comment, subscribe. You can join me on my Blue Sky and my Discord, and if you'd like to show me your support. And with that being said, let's get right into the video. So as I said, it is my 56th week on HRT. It was suggested that I continue with the weekly updates, so that's what I'm going to continue to do. A quick measurements update. My hips are at 35.5. My bust is 37.25. And my waist is 24.75. So I'm not quite sure, like, the jumps in my hips and my bust, but it looks like that's where I'm starting to really see, like, the fat redistribution and the breast growth, which is pretty good. Pretty solid, actually. It makes me feel good to actually see that stuff is occurring. Emotional status. I feel like my emotions are pretty stable for the most part. I'm not really quick to anger. I'm very logical. I'm very quick to be sad, but I think I get through it pretty easily. Yeah, I've been especially sad, especially since the day before yesterday I finalized my divorce, and it's painful because I really loved my ex-wife, and I never thought that whenever I came out that we wouldn't make it. It's a very heartbreaking thought that I'm still dealing with. But I'll get through it. I'll get through it. Hair reduction and growth. So I haven't really noticed any drastic changes in my hair reduction and growth, other than the fact that my hair just rarely grows. I think it's been like almost 3 weeks, and I haven't needed to like shave my legs or anything like that. And it makes me feel really good, actually, because I was borderline filleting my skin every other day just to feel just a little feminine, and it was heartbreaking at times. Whenever like I would go to bed, and hours after I shaved, I was just all prickly and sharp again, and it made me upset. But now it's phenomenal. I can shave, and I'm pretty smooth for a long time. Breast growth, I'm clearly still experiencing it since I had a huge jump this week, but we'll see. I feel like this one's probably going to regress a little bit due to the fact that it's a large jump, but we'll see if it sticks between next week and this week. But my breasts don't hurt anymore, at least not as much. They're kind of sore, but not really, so I feel like I'm getting to like the peak of like the development, which is pretty good. They're not very big, and I never expected them to get big at all, but the fact that I grew at anything helped alleviate some of my gym dysphoria. Most of it has been in my silhouette and like the rest of my body shape, as well as like my facial structure. I get told I look very feminine whenever they figure out that I'm transgender, and I don't see it, but I feel like that's just because I've seen everything. Excuse me. I've just seen everything that's Um, makes me masculine, and I hope one day I stop seeing it and I actually see the woman I am. That redistribution. Other than my breasts, the only other difference I've noticed is in my hips, which also encompasses my butt, which kind of would make sense why the measurement would grow a little bit. But I don't know if this one's also a fluke as well, because it's also a large jump, but we'll see. We'll see between this week and next week. I kind of assumed that like after everything I was kind of done changing for the most part. I kind of assumed that my body had kind of like finished its development since I wasn't seeing any changes in my measurements or anything, but maybe I was just missing something. I've started to change my diet a little bit, and I think that's kind of what it was. I started eating a lot more meat. I think that helped. Yeah, it's exciting because that and my butt kind of like help feminize my silhouette a lot more. So I'm really happy that that's starting to go. Sex drive. My sex drive is still the same. I'm still perma-demisexual. I have to have a strong emotional connection to the person and sometimes the moment in order to perform. And it kind of sucks because even if my partner's trying, if I don't feel a certain kind of way, nothing happens, and I understand how it makes them feel, and I know it doesn't feel good. I hate that. But, at some point, I'm told at some point that once enough of my dysphoria has been alleviated, that starts to go away. And there's a bit of research to back that up, but my sex drive's been more of a problem anyway, and since I'm kind of done dating, I don't really need it anymore either. So it's no harm, no foul for me. Being tired, I am very tired. I was actually closed down everything and went to a show, and I fell asleep within minutes of being there because I was exhausted. I get exhausted pretty frequently, and I think it's just because I'm here 11 a.m. to 4 a.m. most days, but it's worth it to keep Ashton alive. And I really want them to be okay. Muscle development. I haven't noticed any drop in my muscle development. I've actually noticed I've gained a little bit back, but I've just been lifting a lot of food and stuff like that, and I've been carrying groceries and stuff. And the groceries, I'm one of those people that gets them all in one trip, because I would rather do everything in one trip than two. So that's kind of how I am. That's kind of how I do it. I think like the fact that I've been eating considerably more meat has also attributed to my muscle growth, but I don't really care. I kind of like wanted my muscle to kind of like thin out anyway and lean out, because I think my arms give me a bit more of a masculine look because I'm a little built, but I'm lean. I'm not built, I'm lean. And it makes me look more masculine, at least in my opinion. I didn't get my endocrinology results back, and that's a whole story about how my insurance didn't want to cover it, because my insurance kind of comes through my job, and I had to call my advocate and get my insurance to cover it again, and that was the whole process. I haven't gotten my endocrinology results, and I don't expect to go back to that endocrinologist, especially since as of right now I'm scheduled to lose my job the 16th of July, and that's not something I'm excited for. That and my marriage consistently bring me to tears just because of how much they meant to me. My marriage was the best thing that ever happened to me, and my divorce is one of the worst, and it came at like the worst possible time where I've lost my car, my job, I've lost my marriage. All I've got is really this business, and maybe one day they'll succeed. It's doing pretty well right now. I want to see it do better. Next week, I think, is going to be pretty much the same schedule where I'm here most days, and this is one of the weeks where I don't think I have to go up to South Carolina anymore, because I'm on what's called administrative leave, and they're essentially giving me a leave of absence until I get out, because I'm not allowed to be in uniform anymore because they don't want me abiding by female standards. The first portion of the document that came out, the first declarative portion of the document that came out, got rid of every exception to policy. So my ability to abide by female standards in my job has been suspended and revoked. And my chain of command said, well, since you're losing it anyway, it would be dehumanizing to make you go back to male standards only to kick you out a month later. I thank my superiors for that, because they didn't have to. I don't think most people really voted for this, but all I can do is just show the type of person I am and continue to troop on. I think that's enough for tonight. It's been a very emotional week for me, and there's not much to talk about because I've spent a lot of it in tears. I will grant the one person who wanted to see me do a little walk down and back, I will do that. So hopefully that appeased whatever guest was, I guess, looking at like my figure. I'm not ashamed of my figure. It's got a pretty decent hourglass, and I get compliments on like how my body is. I think it's mostly my face that bugs me, if I'm being honest. Hopefully that'll go away with FFS. Anyway, if you like my content, please like, comment, subscribe. Join me over on my Discord and my Blue Sky if you'd like to support me further. And this is Brianna Sinclair, signing off.